Welcome back to My Team Career Mode, Part 2. The Azerbaijan Sprint and Grand Prix, all in one part, baby. This is what we're all here for. So, first of all, we've got the post scenes, or the pre-scenes of the Baku Grand Prix. We're making some upgrades before the Baku Grand Prix. We have about a month to make as many upgrades as we want. So we're chucking on some chassis upgrades, chucking on an aero upgrade, we're chucking on a powertrain upgrade, and basically the aim is to make some improvements and get closer towards the upper midfield pack of Alpine and McLaren by the time we get round to the Baku GP. By the way, it is roasting hot and there is a fan on in my room, so if you can hear that, you're going to have to deal with it, because I do not want to die in the next 30 minutes of this video. And I remember, like, last video, I was like, oh, this is going to be the longest video I upload. It's 30 minutes. This one's almost 32 minutes. I really did not predict how long this video would be, because it's a stacked video. That's why. There's a lot of stuff that goes on. Like, in the title, you're probably seeing, like, 6 things. There's 6 things I could have put, you know. I could talk about so many things, and I don't want to ruin it now, because the title's already lured you in, and I don't know how much of the preliminary title, which is what I'm thinking of, will actually be the title, or if some of it will be a surprise. So that's why I don't want to ruin it. We're also going to upgrade the facility of our aero department as well, so we are able to put on 2 upgrades at once for the chassis, the aero, and not the powertrain though. We're kind of up there in the powertrain department. We're doing pretty well for ourselves. So yeah, and everything's going on. Considering everything's got like a 40% chance of failing, not a single failed upgrade going to the season break, guys. So things are looking rosy and red, and there's rainbows in the sky, and it's nice and sunny, and we're all having a good time. So we have 500 R&D points to play with. What are we going to do with them? I actually have no idea. Because I did this like 6 hours ago. So, I don't know why you're expecting me to remember things 6-7 hours ago, because I won't. So, yeah. Into the final few days before the Baku GP, I think we're about to make our facility upgrade. As you can see, the powertrain upgrade went on. We're seeing if we could do anything else with the 800 R&D points, but I'm pretty sure what we're going to do is we're going to do tyre wear, which is something that we are going to need, because tyre on this game is crucial. Undercuts are overpowered, and tyre wear, like, once your tyres go off, you're screwed. You're going to start sliding everywhere. It doesn't matter how good this game feels. It's going to feel like F123 as soon as your tyres get above 30%. And I really struggled this GP. So let's get into it. We buy the quality control because it is the cheapest one. So it allows us to make multiple upgrades at once, I'm pretty sure. No, actually, sorry, wrong thing. It will allow us to get to Spec 1. So we can unlock some more upgrades for the aero. We need more aero and chassis upgrades because we are struggling on them at the minute. And this is the layout for the weekend. We have a 6-lap sprint and an 18-lap race. And last time out, 83 AI wasn't enough and 18 quali. So we're going up to 88 AI. In time trial, I am top 1,000 on Xbox, top 5,000 in the world on this track. That's not good. That is 100% not good. But I should be on a higher AI, considering that's where I am. That's all I'm saying. It's not good at all. A lot of people are going to be a lot better than that. That's fine. But I'm just saying that my AI needs to be higher, and that's the proof of my pace around Baku to validate why I've gone up in AI so much. And now looking at the upgrades, we've actually overtaken McLaren, and Haas have made some big upgrades. Alpine is still clearly ahead of the rest of us in the midfield. We are literally all level right now, other than Haas, who have kind of... other than actually Alpine, who are the middle team before the big guys. So into Q1. This is our first lap of Q1. It's been a very, very scruffy lap, is all I can say. And it's all I remember, to be fair, actually. But it's a very, very scruffy lap. We've got wing damage. We're struggling. Up to the line. We are going to set a 1 minute 44.7. It's not a good lap time at all. It puts us ahead of Alonso somehow and ahead of Hulkenberg. And somehow we're third at the minute with this time. And getting towards the last few minutes of the session, it's actually raining. Now, I went out on the same set of tyres, so I was like, right, I can find at least 5-6 attempts on these tyres to get through. Turns out we only needed to do an outlap because it started raining. And although the game was saying, oh yeah, you can still set time with these soft tyres, I was slipping about on my way towards the pit lane, so no chance was I going to risk it for maybe a 10th improvement. And we end up getting through in P10, with Porsche only a 10th off our time in P12. It's a very good effort from Teo, a good example of the upgrades we've made as well. So heading into Q2, our first lap in Q2, here we go. This is a full lap, because this was actually a pretty good lap and the only lap we set of this session. Now, you guys know me a lot. I don't like using flashbacks in qualifying laps, which is not something I do. So yeah, it's just nice to be able to commentate over this lap here, no flashbacks and stuff. I would love not to use flashbacks in this race, I'd love that to have been the case, but it's Baku, and I was struggling. I used more flashbacks at this track where I'm faster than Bahrain where I'm slower. It makes sense though, because I'm genuinely, the tyres felt so bad around the circuit because it's so technical. Now, if you ask me, oh, would you rather play Baku on F122 or 23? I'd say 22. But every other track, I'd rather play it on 23. That's my honest opinion. But, you know, it is what it is. This has actually been a very nice lap so far. I mean, there's a couple attempts here or there that we could make up. We've clipped the wall there, which is, again, another couple attempts. And, like, you'll be able to tell in a minute why I thought 88 AI wasn't going to be enough. Because this lap time is actually going to get us P1 preliminary, and I think temporarily, sorry, not preliminarily. This is actually going to get us like P6 in overall for the session, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, and that's why I thought, you know, the AI was still too low, because I shouldn't have been that high up with such a shoddy lap. But in terms of race, I should have had the AI lower in the race, because I'm so inconsistent. If I could race like my quali laps every single lap, I would have been fine. No, I was getting attacked, and I was losing lots of time, and I just wasn't fast enough. That was a 43.2. That is 1.5 seconds quicker than the lap we did in Q1. And that 143.2 ends up getting us P6, 4 tenths off pole position. Remember that, by the way, guys, a 42.8 and a 43.2. Remember those two lap times, because here we go into Q3. Verstappen with a 42.7, which is pretty much the fastest lap set by Leclerc in the last session. So there we go, already at that stage as we head into our Q3 lap. Let's see what we can do here. Let's see if this will be any good of a lap. A 44.9. That is even slower than what we did in Q1. So we're going to have to make up for it now, guys. Like, out of the first corner already, we cut that wall, but it's a 2.5, 3 tenth, 4 tenth improvement already into this corner. We get a bit of a little step out on the exit, but it's still 5.25 tenths made as we head down the second straight of the lap. Heading into this corner, take it quite nicely, get a really nice run, and we did the same thing though on our really bad lap. We got a really good run out of there, so only a little bit of time gain, maybe half a tenth. Through there, another couple of attempts. Through here, we actually lose a tenth. No, actually we lose 2 tenths through here compared to my 3 tenths compared to my really bad lap. 3 tenths could have been made up on this lap alone. And let's see what we can do for the castle section, which is where we're really struggling this weekend. Almost hitting that wall there, but we make up a lot of time. We are now up by 1.3 seconds. Almost going to be 1.4. It is going to be like pretty much 1.4 seconds gained. This has actually been a very solid lap so far. I mean, not perfect, because there's still like 3 tenths on the table. And what is this lap time going to be for us? Because remember, the Q2 fastest lap time was a 42.7. We set a 43.2. We've gone a bit wide there, but we've still made time up, and then gone and lost a little bit of it again. But here we go. Can we get a really good exit out of here? Maximise the straight line speed. I think that'll do. Up to the line. And I say that with the longest pause about to happen ever, because it's like a 20-second run up to the line. We end up setting a 143.1, which means we were only a tenth faster, and we get third. We should be 6th or 7th, because if the progression stays as it should have, we should be 7th. No, we go 1 tenth faster, everyone else goes slower. Come on! Like, this isn't my fault. I'm just setting a consistent lap from Q2 to Q3. And I'm getting a third place for it somehow.
To take them to the top.
We might be used to blisteringly fast pit stops, some even approaching the sub-2 second mark. But what about the longest? Well, that would go to Valtteri Bottas, who had to retire after a seized wheel nut forced him to retire in the 2021 Monaco GP.
Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks for today's sprint. World champion Max Verstappen starts from pole position, and it's Charles Leclerc in P2. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Iceman, Russell, Sainz, Fernando Alonso, Perez, Hamilton, Ocon, Stroll, Albon, Hulkenberg, Théo Pourchaire, Norris, Oscar Piastri, Magnussen, Gasly, Bottas, Tsunoda, De Vries, Joe, De Vries. Which of these drivers will get pole position today? We'll soon find out.
After the points finished last race, let's aim to keep that momentum going.
So yeah, cheers for that, Mark. After a third place start for the sprint, let's see what we can do. There's a mix of a couple of guys on mediums, but most of us are on softs. So let's just see what we can do. In theory, we should be able to pull away from the medium runners, but the tyres on this game are so confusing that I don't know what's going to happen. Because Leclerc's on medium, so we should be able to jump him. So yeah, let's get on with the formation lap.
Okay, so everything looks good on the power unit cycles, so let's concentrate on bringing tyres and brakes up to temperature.
Indeed. So here we go. We've pulled away from the pack, got our tyres warmed up. Let's see if we can get another purple grid box slot. 0.4, the same as Bahrain. I am incredible. Look at that. That is fantastic. And here come the rest of our opponents for this Grand Prix. We need a very good jump off the line. We need to get ahead of Leclerc on the mediums, and we need to try to stick with Verstappen for as long as we can. In my mind, I'm hoping that we can stick with Verstappen, maybe get towed along by Verstappen, and get away from the medium runners, and get away from George Russell, and stuff like that. And maybe just try keep P2 in the sprint, which would be absolutely incredible. But let's see what we can do. Here we go. Are we ready yet, boys? Pourchaire starting in P12, by the way, guys. Absolutely incredible from him. Brilliant effort. Let's see what we can do. 5 red lights. Lights out, away we go. We get a very good launch off the line. Around the outside of Leclerc, Verstappen goes to cover us off. And we go around the outside. He's gone to the inside to cover off Leclerc. We've got a better start than Leclerc could have dreamed of. We've got to fly around the outside of both of them. We're into the lead of the Baku sprint race. I can't believe what I'm watching. I've got a nosebleed. If you thought P3 was a nosebleed in Bahrain, P1 in the Baku sprint. I'm going to faint from blood loss at this point. What are we doing here? This is incredible. We are like the 6th best car on the grid. And we're just absolutely high-flying right now. We qualified P3 somehow. We shouldn't have. This game is broken. And with a broken start compared to the AI, up into P1. But I don't know how long that's going to last, because we are definitely very slow. Verstappen is right up our chuff already. He's already... Oh, with that corner, man. I could not get that corner right at all on this track. No, and I don't get it. I don't know whether it's tyre pressures or what, but it's just an impossible corner to nail. But we've pulled 1.5 seconds in Carlos Sainz already. So all we really need to do is let Verstappen by and get pulled along by him. And you know what? I would take that. I'd be very happy with that. That would be, for me, a win if we can maybe pull away from Sainz and stay ahead of him. So let's see what goes on here. Verstappen's got a way better exit off that corner than us. Surely he's going to get us on this back straight. He definitely should. Are we going to be kind and let him by? Why are we draining our battery for? Why are we trying to stay ahead? That's a very odd decision by me. But is Verstappen going to get ahead of us cleanly? No, he's not. He's not got the straight line speed to do it. We're going to be side by side going to turn 1. Are we going to hang it round the outside of Max Verstappen? Yes, we are. We go slightly off the track, but we've still got our nose in on the outside. Screw pulling away from the rest of the grid, Jake. That was a brilliant plan while it lasted. We're fighting for P1 in the Baku sprint race, and we're ahead of Verstappen once again, and into P1 again, and he's now fighting the cars behind, and now it's Sainz behind us on the mediums with the fastest lap. So definitely those mediums were a better choice of tyre for the sprint, I'm guessing. Probably would have felt nice on these softs as well. We've already got 30% more wear on the rears and 20 on the fronts after a few laps and the quali lap. So this is not great. And here comes Sainz now on our inside into turn 1, and he's got the move cleanly done. But here comes Max Verstappen. He's going to try and go around our outside. We've not covered him off. He's going to try and go around the outside of Sainz. We make contact with Sainz. We squeeze Verstappen out. There's an opportunity for us here to go past Carlos Sainz again, but we don't send it on him. We don't want to risk too much at this stage. I'm going to go for him again on this back straight. He's a medium tyre runner. We should be able to get past him here. We make contact again with the rear of Carlos Sainz, but no damage is made. Carlos Sainz, he keeps his nose on our inside, but we're able to keep the position and stay ahead. And we get a poor exit now, coming on to the end of lap 4, start lap 5. And we've got Sainz and Verstappen on us again. I don't know how we've managed to keep the lead for 4 laps, but it's happened. Here comes Carlos Sainz now. But we've got Verstappen boxed in. Sainz has no slipstream. Verstappen's pulling through. Verstappen takes the lead of the race. Are we going to be able to keep it down the inside? No, we're not. Verstappen's too far clear with that with the DRS. Sainz is forcing room on the outside. We're going to squeeze out Carlos Sainz. We're going to poor exit. Are we going to be able to get past Max Verstappen again or not? It'll be a case of time. It's another poor exit, and I think Verstappen's gone. Our dreams of winning a sprint race or any race in Formula 1 are dashed for now. And that is the case by the end of lap 5. On to the last lap of this sprint as Max has pulled 2.5 seconds on us already. We've got Sainz and Leclerc right behind us on mediums, only 5 tenths behind. We've got Russell in P5. Here comes Carlos Sainz. We've squeezed him out again. But here he comes, and here comes his teammate as well right behind us. We're getting put in a Ferrari sandwich right now. We need to try at least keep Leclerc behind so we can dive bomb Sainz. We've done that quite well. Are we going to go for the move on Sainz? No, Leclerc's on our outside. We make contact with Sainz. We're able to squeeze out Charles Leclerc. Russell now maybe looking for a move on Leclerc. And coming on to the last lap of the sprint, Sainz has pulled away. We've not been able to stay in Sainz's DRS range because he's about to pull out of it. And we've got Leclerc 5 tenths behind us. We're low on battery. This is going to be a race to the line. Will it be our first podium in F1 technically in the Baku sprint? Leclerc is right behind us. There's no way we're going to be able to do this. We're trying to squeeze him off any way we can. Maybe a bit of dirty driving, a bit of weaving, but we need this P3. Can we keep it? Are we going to keep it? Leclerc's pulling through. Leclerc got it off us. Leclerc has snatched P3 in the Baku sprint on the line, and it's going to be P4 in the sprint. Oh, it's so heartbreaking. I mean, it's realistic. We should be lower than that, but it's so heartbreaking being in such a high position and then just losing it on the final few tenths. I would love to see what the gap was there. I'd love to see what the gap was, because I reckon it was about a tenth. That is the margin between us and a podium in F1. I know it's the sprint, but you still get a podium for it. And that was the margins.
Of Baku and home, of course, to the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. With high speeds, tight corners and few runoff zones, many are expecting a safety car here today. So our drivers will have to stay very much on their toes and hopefully out of the barriers. The Baku city circuit measures roughly 6 kilometers and it's made up of 20 corners and 2 DRS zones. The circuit winds around the narrow city, through the old town, and even brushes against the city's medieval walls. However, as beautiful as the setting is, this track is also a ferocious technical challenge, where the smallest of mistakes could lead to a catastrophic consequence for any one of our drivers. Before we begin, let's take a quick look at the grid lineup for today's race. Max Verstappen put in a fantastic lap yesterday, and he'll start from pole position. And a very happy Carlos Sainz will start second. Moving on to the rest of the grid, we have Leclerc, Iceman, Russell, Perez, Fernando Alonso, Hamilton, Stroll, Ocon, Albon, Norris, Hulkenberg, Oscar Piastri, Gasly, Bottas, Magnussen, Tsunoda, Joe, Sargent, De Vries, Sargent. With preparations almost complete, Let's head down to the track. Anthony Davidson joins me once again in the commentary.
Teo Porcher, he was P12 after the sprint. There was a good chance of him getting points if some chaos happened. He's got a bloody engine penalty after one race. How has he managed that? Oh, it's pain. It's pain and pain and pain. Oh, if Porcher managed to make up any positions that aren't DNFs, I'd be very surprised. I don't know. It's just, you know, there's a lot of drivers starting on different compounds. We've got some softs in there. We've got some mediums, some hards. I'm going to personally start on the mediums because it makes the most sense, right? You're going to start on mediums, switch to hards. Those guys on softs might have to do a long stint on hards, but they're going to get mega undercut. And we're going to have to try and make the gap back up for, if we can get some consistent lap times in. But here we go, up to the grid. We've got Sainz on hards right ahead of us, Leclerc on mediums next to us, and we've got Verstappen on pole on mediums ahead of us as well. With our incredibly overpowered starts, this should be us getting into P2 at least by turn 1. Sorry about that. Let's see what we can do in this Baku Grand Prix. It was a brilliant effort in the sprint. We were P1 for 4 laps and then dropped down to P4 within a couple. I don't know how it happened to us. We were robbed on the line. Let's see what we can do in the Baku sprint. Will we be robbed again? Let's see. 5 red lights for the back. Come on, Porcher, get on the grid, mate. You're wasting our time at this point, pal. Come on, let's go. Let's have a brilliant race. Let's hope Porcher can pull his way through. And let's hope for a little bit of mayhem for the content. 5 red lights for the Baku GP, the main feature event. And it's lights out and away we go. And it's another brilliant start. Not as good as in the actual Grand Prix. We're going down the inside of Leclerc and on the outside of Sainz. Sainz is still on our inside. Almost make contact there with Sainz. Apparently we do make contact with Sainz as we get a warning for a collision. Verstappen has pulled away a second already. And we've gone deep there. We've tapped the wall. And that was pretty much the start. I don't know why I didn't record more. But here we go. On to lap number 5 now. We've already been overtaken by Leclerc. And here comes George Russell. We must have just let Leclerc by if I'm not showing it. Russell going very defensive into turn 1. Holding us up on the apex slightly. Are we going to be able to make this move back on George Russell? This is the fight for a genuine podium. A genuine podium. Let's see what we can do. I'm really shaky on that exit. But we've got DRS and slipstream. There is no damage. We've got to be careful of Carlos Sainz behind, but he hasn't got the straight line speed we do. And we go down the inside of George Russell, and we squeeze him out. And we will not let him get his nose back in and maybe retake that position. It's not going to happen. Here we are now, coming on to lap 5. There's yellow flags out. There is a retirement. It is not me. Who is it going to be? Look how much we're struggling through this section, by the way, guys. As Sergio Perez has a mechanical failure, which you're about to see right there. And just look how much we're struggling. This is how bad it was for us. Honestly, it was pretty bad. Coming on to lap 6 now. George Russell has overtaken us into this section. Let's see if we can do anything about it now. Here we go. Through the castle section where we've been struggling all weekend. Oh, we've hit the wall. How are we not out? How are we not out? There's a big pile-up. There's a big pile-up. We've got a penalty for a collision with Sainz. There's a massive... There's a red flag. There's a red flag. Our first red flag from my own mistake. A few questions there. 1, how are we not out? 2, why have we got a penalty? I kind of get it, but still. And 3, we've got, not even a question, a reaction. We've got our first red flag of the game. This is incredible stuff. A red flag means that we don't have to do an actual pit stop because we can go straight to the hard tyres to the end of the Grand Prix. This is fantastic. However, we have 10 seconds of penalties for 2 collisions with Sainz. Why have we got 2 penalties? That means now that what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to pull away from the rest of the grid. Hopefully. 5 red lights on the restart. It's lights out. And away we go. We've got another good start. And it's what? Are you joking? Are you joking? There's a safety car off the start. Why are you letting us have a proper start if you're just going to pull out a safety car? Russell's got himself into P2 because of that safety car. Oh, such a joke. Why wouldn't you just send us back out on the safety car? Like, that must be a glitch, right? That shouldn't be happening, surely. But it did, and it has. And I'm confused. We have a 10-second penalty. we're going to have to hope that staying with this lead group, we will still be quicker and still potentially get some points. We've got 10 laps. If you think about it, surely we should be getting some points. And it is a legit safety car. It's not just a glitch, even though there's a 2-second delta as Leclerc. We can't overtake him. It's such a scam. It is honestly such a scam that has happened. If we'd have had that start normally, we'd have gotten to P2 again. We were right in between both of them. We were about to send it. But no. And here we go for the safety car restart now. Oh no, my bad. Carlos Sainz is just bidding. He had a whole red flag to change off his soft tyres. He's waiting until the safety car to do it. And now Carlos Sainz is going to be dead last in this Grand Prix. And as you can see now, Pourchaire's back up into P12. And he doesn't need to make another stop. Those who are on the mediums are going to struggle with tyre at the end, hopefully. Maybe even make another pit stop. And you could potentially see Théo Pourchaire in some good points this race. But here we are now. Safety car is actually in this lap. We need to do something about this 10-second penalty. We need to make a statement. Let's see what kind of restart we can have here. Let's see if we can punch past Leclerc into the first corner. And maybe reclaim this provisional podium position. Let's see. That was a good bit of alliteration, by the way. And here we go. We're waiting for Max to go. Max has gone. We've been caught napping a little bit. But with a bit of ERS, we're able to pull up to Leclerc coming back onto the line. We're waiting for the green flag to make the overtake actually happen. There it is. There's the green flag. Down the inside of Leclerc. Back into P3. He's still on our outside. He's not there for long though. And we're back into P3 in this Grand Prix. How are we doing this? I'll never know. I'm the Baku merchant. I am the Baku merchant. With a 10-second penalty, so we are pretty much screwed. But Leclerc on the hards. We've got Russell on mediums now trying to challenge Max Verstappen. This is crazy. What is going on right now? Like, that red flag, the penalties, the safety car potential glitch, the race on the line with Leclerc as we now move back on to lap 13. Lap 12, and because we spent 2 laps on the safety car, DRS is re-enabled, and Leclerc is past us. Let's see if we can get him back. But the annoying thing about that safety car is that's 2 laps we could have pulled away from the rest of the grid and made sure this penalty kept us in the points, even with it. But no, we had 2 laps on the safety car where everyone stayed together. What's just happened? We've had another jump, but we're fighting Fernando Alonso apparently. And we made a brilliant move around the outside. Hello! Didn't even realise that happened. That is beautiful. With 5 laps to go in this Grand Prix, we're fighting Fernando Alonso. Leclerc's gone. The podium chances are gone. And we're fighting Fernando Alonso as Alonso now. He overtakes us heading into turn 1. Are we going to respond right now? No, we're not. We're going to wait until the next section of the track as Kevin Magnussen is out with a mechanical failure. Could that be a safety car? I beg not. It would make sure we finish last pretty much. Let's see if we can get Alonso back. Hamilton's closer to us, but we have the straight line speed on Alonso. We're going to send it down the inside. Alonso's still on the outside. He's still ahead, but we squeeze him out and we reclaim P4. And considering how much fighting we're doing, we're only 2 seconds behind Leclerc.
Gap to your teammate behind is 10.5 seconds. Okay, they're on old hard tyres. They're in 12th. Your last lap time was a 1:48.
Right then guys, we are 10.5 seconds ahead of Pourchaire, and that gap is only going to grow over the next few laps. So we are currently on track for P12, and looking on the minimap, he's in that fight for P10. So you never know, if we could pull a few seconds, maybe we could keep points in this race. So we need to keep staying with Alonso's. We now have DRS on the main straight. This will gain us some time compared to Pourchaire. Here we go. On Fernando Alonso, we're going to go inside, we're going to go outside. Alonso moves to the inside. We're going to go around the outside, cleanly past him before turn 1 even comes. And there we are, back into P1. P1? Bloody hell. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. P4 of the Baku GP. But roles reversed onto the last lap of the Grand Prix. Here comes Fernando Alonso up to the line. We're deploying ERS. Fernando Alonso, are we going to keep him behind? The gap to Pourchaire's 12.5 seconds. Is Alonso going to get us to the line? I have no idea. We are so close to each other. I don't know what's just happened. Me and Alonso are so close to each other. Who has won this race? Who has got P4 on the road? And where have we actually finished? Because it never told us. Normally it tells you, but everything's just gone blank. Where have we finished in this Grand Prix? Verstappen's won. George Russell's P3? George Russell was not P3. George Russell was P2. Hold on. What? Are you being serious? Why is George Russell P3? He was P2 on the road by miles. Leclerc was P3. What?
Let's have a look then at the
We've got P7 in the end. What? Verstappen P1, Leclerc P2, Russell P3, Alonso P4, Hamilton P5, Ocon P6, Norris P7, Lance P8, Albon P9.
Let's move on to the constructors.
What?
Pulling further ahead in the standings, it's Red
I
Bull.
don't get it.
After an event like that,
I don't get it.
who knows what the sport has in store for
Sainz
us
is
next
still
time
lost out here
Be sure to join
from
us
his
once
pit
again
stop,
as we
but the red
continue to
flags
bring you
reset
all the
everything.
excitement of Formula One.
The 10-second penalty has kept us P7 when we shouldn't have been that high up. And it's put Russell behind Leclerc. What on earth? What? And this is how close we were at the line, by the way. Alonso apparently pipped us from that as well. But I don't know what's just happened. I'm so confused. We've reset to some point in the race. And I've got P5. I've lost a position to Alonso, which I might have done anyway. But Sainz has still lost his positions. Russell and Leclerc have been swapped back around for some reason. So I don't get it. But I'm not going to complain. That 10-second penalty should have put us P9, P10. And we've ended up getting P7 from that race. Another P7 this season. So ignoring all of the mayhem, a very successful GP considering the penalty for us. And we will take it moving forward. So, a very good race. Next time out we have Miami. So after that crazy Grand Prix, I'd love some appreciation and support. This video has taken me like an hour to edit and stuff like that. So, it'll be great for some support. And hopefully you guys are enjoying the side-by-sides on the thumbnail. See you all next time. Have a great week. And I shall be uploading again pretty soon for Miami.